Yes. Good morning.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Having a little trouble with my Facebook, but I think we finally connected. Good morning, you guys. It's Mario Hemsley here. There it is. For all of you, it's nice to be here. Let's give it up another. Ladies and gentlemen, as marvelous as this show must seem to you, I never am here alone. I am here with the gifted contributions of some very remarkable men. First of all, let me introduce to you the man that the ladies have been nicknaming and calling Sexual Chocolate for years. The man that they say you rub his head and make a wish. The man who works 3 switchers while live on the air. None other than the tall, dark, and handsome chocolate bar Victor Allen. Everybody give it up. Bet you can't eat just one. Melt in your mouth or your hand.
If you rub your own head, can you get a wish? If I can't rub my own head, that doesn't sound right. Let me go.
If I rub my head, I get distracted.
Let me stop. Hey,
I'm no good.
oh, geez, man, wrong place.
Well, rub his head and make a wish, because he's not the only one.
Oh,
Sitting right across from me, the latest addition to the Morning Coffee crew, the man who has inspired fashion change in the broadcast group. We give you none other than the wonderful, gifted Omari Bakari. Give it up, everybody, the man of the hats.
All power to the people. Good morning.
How is that, Dashiki?
Welcome all my folks.
Omari. Now, first of all, as you know, we start this morning coffee, we get together, we do the pre-show, but Mari is the ongoing distraction that is happening here at Morning Coffee, because while I myself am engaged in online dating, Victor's on, it is Omari who has been having the adventures as of late. So I think we should start this day. Before we say, first of all, let's do this. Alexa, sing Good Morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yes, and as Omari so often requests, Alexa, rap.
I've got a message for you. Your attention, please. I make to-dos and calling mom a breeze. Got a knack for rhymes, converting dollars to dimes, and lots of games for your spare time. Got skills galore, mad skills they are. And now I'm even in your car. When it's time to dance or get info on France, just say my name. I won't miss my chance.
That is Alexa, the rap queen. Thank you, Alexa.
Here's a station you might like.
No.
Rap Rotation Radio
Alexa.
on Amazon.
Alexa, stop. Don't stop, Alexa. Alexa, are you okay?
Artificial intelligence.
Alexa, are you okay?
My Monday is starting off marvelously.
Oh, okay.
I thought you hurt her feelings.
Well, you know, Alexa, they do get weird on you. Hey, Vic,
yeah, man.
I know you've been getting into stuff all weekend long.
Yeah,
My story's a lack of getting into things.
you know what?
So I know you got into shit. I was home watching Netflix
No.
alone.
Did you see the video he produced?
Well, see, videos, it's okay, but what people want to know is, well, what does that mean? How make me relate, make me follow it? Why? But what I have to do is follow up with Mario, because he set the tone. He said, "Tell him what you're into." What I did is I sat next to our star linked and had a conversation. I said, if you keep in these goddamn obstructions, I'm moving your ass off the deck. That was the first one. So, what does Starlink mean? just another connection to the universe. But I appreciate what Mario did for it.
You know,
Because he added to the Space Force. Oh, that's right. We're not supposed to say Space Force, right?
Here we is the Space Force.
That's Space Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Victor is, as Victor is referring to is our Starlink. Elon Musk, one of his latest ventures, he's got 3,000 satellites or more up there in the sky. We added Starlink. So the idea of Starlink is that no matter where we go, we'll be able to stream live. You know, wherever we go, you know, from the jungles to the beaches. So we're going to be using. We got the Starlink sitting outside, but the idea is to take the Starlink on the Prius. I just found out it uses 100 watts. That means I can power it from the cigarette lighter. Okay?
That's huge.
So I can power. Your cigarette lighter will go up to like 300 watts. So this is 100 watts. So we're going to have Starlink powered. So everywhere we go,
Right.
we'll be able to stream live. And an additional benefit is after that, I'll be able to watch Pornhub without
There you
any
go.
problems.
Okay.
So I just want you to know.
Now, to continue.
Got to
real
have that
quickly-
Pornhub.
So to continue real quickly. Let me just say to see.
What's
I had
your
to stop
favorite
him.
search?
You see where it's going. How much time did it take? 11 minutes. It went to porn, didn't it?
I just said we could get Pornhub at the beach.
Okay, so now
Where
we're
else do
gonna
you need
it.
Pornhub but in the mountains?
Okay, I'm gonna make an agreement. I want to do this agreement. Mario, I want you to kind of help me out. All right,
Okay.
Mario, I gotta ask this question.
Sometimes late at night when my parents aren't home.
I'm not giving him the main camera.
Okay.
Was that the question or the answer?
Right,
That was the answer.
right.
That's when I watch. That's when I read National Geographic with my robe open.
Right. See, I'm not giving him the main camera. See why? See why?
It's those ladies running around.
See, I have a problem because I can't. Don't say anything. When I came in the studio, I was checking the system over the weekend, which is not interesting to people.
Good.
But I gotta ask Mario. See this shot right now I'm doing. I'm switching to. See his hat. See the ethos. You see everything. Bang it. How long we gonna keep that MF Trump on the wall of the albums? How long?
You mean over there they can't? They can't
Yes.
see. We.
Look behind you.
Oh, yeah.
How long we gonna keep? Looks like we endorse it.
It says he got on the blowjob bid.
They can't read it from there.
They got to be able to see it. That's that Trump. Maybe I should put it behind me. That's Trump with the blowjob bib.
Right.
You know, I always would say about Trump, somebody should put something in his mouth, but my zipper stuck.
You see what happened? You see
But I thought about it. You know, the first thing you think is, can we shut him up?
Right. See, I don't want to give him no air anymore. No more air. That's me. That's my first journey this weekend. But to answer Mario's question, you know what? They always say, don't tell people suggestions of what you should do. Do it yourself. So I documented what they call what I do when I get up in the morning in my routine, and then I just added what I called my ethos journey from the east to the west. Now that involves some, I guess you could say, atmosphere, some get outside. Unfortunately, it wasn't a lot to do this weekend because my ethos was focused on the NBA playoffs. I know we don't do new sports anymore, but I ain't gonna lie. If I didn't get anywhere else, I was fixed on that game. And it's so cool to just be chilling at the beach. Got y'all. Watching the game while the waves.
You were watching the game
Yes.
at the beach?
Yes, I was. Yes.
See, I missed part of the game because I went to the beach.
You didn't have to.
That's the sacrifice I made.
You see?
And you went with an older woman.
Oh, okay.
See?
All right.
Strike two.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Don't take
Do
sand
not
to the
say.
I'm just saying, no.
Is that what that means? Don't
Okay.
take sand
Oh,
to the beach?
be careful.
I like older women.
I do too.
You want people to follow you?
Some of
I
them-
do.
Watch what you say.
No, but I enjoyed my time there. And
Right.
Actually, I did something that I didn't expect to do or plan to do. I actually walked all the way out to the water where
Whoa.
you took those videotapes and
Right.
that. And so that's huge for me because I'm still recovering from my stem cell therapy.
And how many people really know about that? Have we covered that at all?
No, not really.
need
You
to
know,
explain that
Omari
'cause
is
nobody
that's right.
knows.
Omari is a person who is receiving stem cell treatments
Yeah.
for his hip.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Yeah. Gotta give it to you, man.
Some fantastic results. Moving around a year ago today, I used to cry at the thought of going to the grocery store. But today I can tell you I'm in no pain and without cane.
Wow.
No pain and without cane.
Wow.
So my clinic out in Glendale, they did awesome work. I'm real happy I would send anybody out there, but it's worth looking into if you have. My situation was hip, but they treat their specialty on knees, shoulders, and with the hip thing,
What's the name of the clinic?
the Medical Wellness Center.
Okay. Because when you have the information like that, that's a success in what you're going through right now. Even though it may seem not a lot, but what you're doing right now, and for me, I sit there and said, it looks like you're jogging into the studio now.
Oh, I'm feeling so much better, man.
Yeah.
I'm going in the grocery store without a cane. It's just amazing because, the whole pandemic, I was down,
Right.
in pain, chronic pain.
Yeah.
Thank God for marijuana.
Yeah, and
There you
let me
go,
just
brother.
say this.
Yeah.
As a casual observer to the journey my brother's been on, it's amazing, and I'm so proud of him. And on the other hand, ladies still coming after him. Look at him.
You know what?
You know what? You think about it, he can still take care of you,
man,
but you
my
might
God.
have to bring it over to him. But he can still take care of it.
Right.
At one point, I thought I'd be riding my women around in my walker. So, I don't know where the walker is today.
We don't know where the walker is, but we know where the walker might be because the NBA playoffs that happened over the weekend is what everybody's talking about. Well, some of us. Audrey Celeste Parrish is in the chat room. I'm sure she wasn't talking about it, but PMC, Phil Cuthbert certainly talking about it. Victor Allen, what kind of basketball did we see this weekend? Absolutely crazy, crazy NBA. People knew. And I'm even in the chat room on Facebook, talking to some of the dating folks, and even they know. You watching NBA? That was from some of the Chinese. And if they knew, you knew everybody else knew.
True.
Watching the NBA.
Yeah.
The Phoenix game was the worst one. Oh,
Got you, bro.
they
Didn't it?
took a beating.
Yeah.
They took a beating.
Yeah.
They did.
They
Yeah.
took a beating.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. Look, I'll elaborate more with my ethos,
Well,
but I want Mario because he's got that pimp daddy look, man, right now. I mean, just look at, dude.
Macalicious.
I mean, I'm sitting up here going, like, I need to go back upstairs and change.
I did this just because of Amari, and because in the rare chance that someone might want to actually connect with me and perhaps perform some kind of a sexual remedy, massage, perhaps with a happy ending.
All right.
All of these things would work well for a man of my age and my stature. And let me just say, I would be most appreciative, and I would probably cook you lunch. So that's all I could say. I'll make it worth your while if you could just tend to the comforting of the old man, as we would say. So just
Yeah,
come.
yeah. Notice,
Give us-
notice, he's falling right in that category where people go, you better stay away from that old man.
A bunch of stuff happening, you guys. Let's start off with at least the solemn stuff. Wow. Naomi Judd commits suicide using a handgun.
Yeah.
And finally, her family agreed as to who would come out and handle the story. And all I can say is I'm so sorry for the family. I've tried to recognize regularly the ongoing issue of depression, which has been a struggle of my own, which I've been open and honest about. But this, just to recognize the numbers of people, and again, people have this mistaken idea that successful people are not suffering from depression. Their attitude kind of is, if you got all that stuff, you should be at least happy that you have that. Too bad it doesn't work that way. Too bad it doesn't work that way. I think especially for people who are successful, the irony is that for most of us, we expect that success will make us feel better. And when you become successful and yet you do not feel better, that's when you tend to get a little bit desperate. Okay? That's when you're sitting up in the mansion getting high. You ain't got nothing left to do but get high. So that's when you. So let's send some love out today to the family of Naomi Judd. We understand what you're going through. We understand what you went through. And once again, this is another one of those things to remind us of how prevalent mental health disease is out there, especially with this COVID. You know, a lot of people have been locked up. We laugh because everybody's out there trying to get some action. But they're trying to get some action because they've been locked up for 2 years. You know, so let's give it up for that.
Yeah.
The other incident, of course, that everyone's talking about is the shooter in Buffalo. Wow, who drove hundreds of miles just to kill black people. Just to kill black people. And you got assholes like Ted Nugent making speeches that encourage violence. So we're coming into that time, ladies and gentlemen. The United States of America is headed toward a confrontation. And it's only a confrontation because the forces of racism and bigotry, they are now in the minority. And because they know they're in the minority, they want to fight. They feel their ground slipping away from them, as indeed it is, and so they want to fight. So the latest thing is we have a shooter, 18 years of age. 18. Once again, I notice whenever they say they had a mass shooting incident and they managed to capture the shooter, you know he's white.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say it. Everybody knows that. See, that's what they were asking. Because you know he's white.
Yeah.
If you're a white mass shooter, they take you to get fast food on the way to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we know that. So once again, the standard. Here they go, driving hundreds of miles to our community to kill black people. Actor Liam Neeson, which is why I don't watch any of his movies, talked about how in his earlier years he drove around because a friend of his had been raped by a black man. He drove around at night looking for black people to confront his own racism. That's Liam Neeson. Obviously, the racism is out there. People haven't been talking about it, but let's talk about it. Because now this is what happens. Well, we then get the president, who I've already indicated, he's part of Trump's legacy. Biden's failure to take on Trump. Biden's failure to demonize Trump.
I agree.
Merrick Garland, the sorry piece of shit that Obama was actually trying to recommend for the Supreme Court, who heads the Department of Justice. This is the man Obama wanted to be on the Supreme Court, and the Republicans blocked it. That sorry piece of shit runs the Justice Department, and what has he done for Trump or the insurrection? Nothing. We know if it had been black people doing that insurrection, they would have found the grandmother who contributed to the trip and charged her.
Yeah.
If you had a family who put up $2 each, they would have taken them all to jail for contributing to that insurrection. But no, once again, the double standard that is America is unveiled. So we get to watch the Buffalo shooter surrender peacefully, okay, once again. And so it is.
So there's a couple of other things about that shooting that's disturbing. One, of course, the way they treated the killer, but two, people who were the family members of the people who became victims of that shooter were some pretty significant people in the community, and I thought that for a random incident like that, how precious are our members of the community? They're out grocery shopping, not even thinking about anything other than getting in the market, getting back home, or doing whatever it is they're doing, and they have to be confronted with a situation like this. And yeah, I too, like you, I'm disappointed in the Biden administration. I'm disappointed in the Democratic Party for allowing Trump and this message and the whole white power ideology to start showing up across the country the way it is. So, yeah, we gotta do something.
Gotta do something. Now, and my final pet peeve of the week, the American Academy of Pediatrics. As you all know, I am a board-certified pediatrician, 30-year Kaiser Emergency Critical Care. And as you know, there's an infant formula shortage. It is a crisis. And like any crisis, the American Academy of Pediatrics is nowhere to be found. What a sorry group of sad-ass people who do nothing. They managed to elect a black woman as president, and she continues in the tradition of doing absolutely nothing. So when in the face of an infant formula shortage, what the Academy of Pediatrics has done is put out everything they think you shouldn't do. Not one thing that you should do. Everything you show. You shouldn't feed them milk. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Well, what the hell do you do? Academy of Pediatrics, you once again non-acting piece of shit organization that's never done anything in general for black people. That's why I don't give a shit about the Academy of Pediatrics. I never joined. They kept asking me, and I said, you know, this to you, okay? But I never joined because they don't look out for black people. So what should you do? Well, let me tell you something. Contrary to beliefs, before there was infant formula, people lived. People lived. And before there was infant formula, there were people who could not breastfeed. You believe it or not? Before there was formula, there were actually people who couldn't breastfeed. What happened? Did all those babies die? No, they didn't. So the American Academy of Pediatrics hasn't helped you at all. We're in a crisis. There is no formula. Now, for the people who have allergies, you're kind of stuck. But there's other things to try because cow's milk, which most of these formulas are made from fortified cow's milk, is not the most wonderful food for humans anyway. Okay, cow's milk.
See,
okay?
Vic, this is what I love about Doc can say all of these things because he's a doctor. He can talk about this stuff, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. What's the plan? Did the whole country, did the federal government
we do
just
nothing.
fail us?
Yeah, they just starve. They have nothing to see. This is what I hate about the Academy of Pediatrics. Never anything useful. Never any. You know, they elected a sister to be head of it because they got tired of looking for one of them good old boy networks, which they really are. Every medical organization is essentially a good old boy network for white men. Okay, all of them. All right, so don't be surprised that the Academy of Pediatrics, when it comes to dealing with the current formula crisis, hasn't given you one word of useful advice yet. Wonderful. Let's give it up for them.
Now, let me do this because I know, this is Monday. And Mario and I discussed this many times that we were going to do a show centered around the issues. And he was really getting me up to speed, which would take about 15 years for me to learn most of the stuff that I was going to bounce off of. But there are some useful organizations that may not be connected corporately. It will be good to know where to go to get information when the failings are apparent from an organization like that, because you're aware of those who are attempting.
I'm looking and
see,
wow.
See,
So I guess we'd have to find some
we got,
special
but see,
interest
we
groups.
have to be resourceful if we're
We
going
do.
to be critical.
we do.
All right,
And at this point in time, I'm not sure.
we'll find one. We're gonna.
I'm not sure because I'm going to catch fleck already, but because as a pediatrician, I'm not echoing the Academy's
That's right.
stuff. So I'll catch flack already, but I'll go, like I said, they haven't given you one word of useful advice. They said, make sure you don't do this. Don't give them milk. Don't give them soy. Don't give them this. Don't give them that. Motherfucker, what do we give them? I'm sorry, I have to go. This is use my French.
No, I get it. You see,
Okay, what do we give them then? We let them die, starve, while you figuring it out?
Well, part of this is.
And it's a joke because the formula shit, anyway, as a whole, to me, they got a whole lockjam control over this stuff, okay? This is another one of those things. You need to be tackling why do they have all this control over the formulas anyway? And all the corporate mandates. Kaiser just switches from Enfamil to Similac just routinely because they get it all free from the people. They give Kaiser formula so that you can get used to that formula, and then when you go home, you use the same formula.
Right.
We know that. So Kaiser just switches it up every year, every 6 months. They switch from Enfamil to Similac, but who else gets a chance? Who else gets a chance?
See, these are the things that I'm happy Mario's discussing because there are healthcare disparities across the board.
Right.
And cause I had my share with the chronic pain.
Oh, yes.
But we've got to have these conversations moving forward.
Did you, now watch this, did you find the resources for your treatment through what advocacy?
Well, I had to do my own research.
Absolutely.
The VA had canceled or postponed my hip replacement surgery because of the pandemic.
Right.
But they only wanted to give me Motrin. And Motrin.
You're a big black man. They don't give you pain medicine. Don't be black coming into the
I
ER
needed
needing
some
pain.
Vicodin or something.
Right.
You know, that I could take and remove the pain.
Right.
That I could still be able to sit there and do some work, to think.
Right.
Yeah, don't be black coming into ER.
Well-
Let me tell you, if you have a tattoo, you ain't never getting no pain medicine.
Right. Now, see what I believe. I believe sometimes our responsibility is that we're good at what we call, knowing how the industry works. When we get deep into corporations, a lot of us go like, oh my God, I'm in a cave. But all you need is a singular advocacy. And sometimes that's just like what you did earlier today. And I said, you need to springboard that information and the journey you went to go find it. What Mario's saying is, look, I'm going to tell you how jacked up it is. But at the same time, we can also point to, let's go to an advocacy. Because there are organizations that are informational. They may not be competing dollar-wise,
Exactly.
but the information is more important.
Exactly.
And Mario makes a good point. He says, look how life existed before this. And I understand, I already know about Sleepy Biden and the whole administration. I didn't look for anything. I was just looking for less drama. So it was less drama than the previous administration.
right.
So it's still going to be drama.
It'll be drama.
Yeah.
The Academy suggested you get together with other folks to pool your resources and look.
Yeah, see?
Thank you
See, I
once
told you.
again for the
Thank
wonderful
God.
advice
Thank
from the
God
Academy
it's-
of Pediatrics.
Thank God it's 3 of us in the house.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank
listen.
you once again, Academy.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
figure
Yeah.
this out.
Well, see, the reason why I
Really
use this
helpful.
test- see, I use this as a test because Mario and I, back in the day, we used to do kind of relationship stuff, had this whole thing. And we would pretend like if somebody's in the room and they're all just bitching, we always go, well, what's the solution? And the person who's bitching go, I don't know what the solution is. I just know what's fucked up. That's it. So it's a good education for me because I know when Mario talks, it makes me go, I got to go find that advocate.
Right.
Because he's sitting right here and I should be able to do that.
And it's a conversation that I think that, he sparks that conversation. And all of us should be asking these questions.
That's right.
I have a brand new granddaughter.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that she's healthy and that my son and his wife, they understand.
Well, the best thing is to breastfeed,
Yeah.
even though back in the 50s and 60s, American companies did their best internationally to convince the whole world not to breastfeed. We were trying to export formula to third world countries that were already doing well with breastfeeding, enough that we actually had to spark a whole campaign to get Americans to go back to breastfeeding. The formula companies are so good at making you think you need infant formula. Okay?
Right.
This is a worldwide if you want a conspiracy,
Yeah.
look at this one.
So do those companies fit under the category of pharmaceuticals?
I don't know. I was probably not. Nestle is probably a food product.
That's some shit.
Well, sure, I don't mean there's a bunch of other ones. Similar like infant milk. Infant formula worldwide is something worth looking at. And who controls that, okay? And also how the media seems to just be jumping right into this. I've been watching the news reports. Again, they're great on telling you what not to do. I haven't heard one piece of advice that made any logical sense.
Right.
Get together with other people so that you can share information about where you can find formula. Really?
Which means don't ask us.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
And no criticism of anybody.
Yeah.
Because, the Academy of Pediatrics is loath to criticize anything or anybody.
Yeah.
Because mostly they're busy kissing everybody's ass. Okay. If you want to know more about the inequalities in medicine that are endemic, go to the website that I have been running for years. Take a look right here, unequaltreatment.com, www.unequaltreatment.com, where you can find about the study that was done by the National Institute of Health that documented racial and ethnic disparities in healthcare everywhere they looked. What they said was that we expected, and I sort of summarize here, we expected inequalities. What they did not expect was the breadth and depth of pure evidence. If you ever wanted evidence, electronic medical record unveiled racism. Because once you looked at billing and threw in race and age and other factors, you found out doctors were not treating people the same.
Absolutely.
Even though you paid the same money. Okay, this is
Or
not
even-
about the
or even more.
uninsured.
Or even more money.
Or even more money.
Right.
All right, so we're going to be coming back for Victor Allen's Ethos.
Thanks for that information, man. The unequal treatment. I forgot all about that, dude. Wow.
I'll be posting that site too.
Yeah, see?
Playing from Mario's iPad.
Well,
4.
we know where it's, why do we care where it's playing from? Be right back. Take a sip. Take a sip, take a sip, take a sip.
And yo, feet up, shoes off, kicking on back. Late night staying up, writing these raps. Engulfed in the summertime, soaking up the sun. Now I'm jet black, yeah, I think I got enough. On to tops, flip flops, like pink so soft, small braids, Kool-Aid, melon in the shade. Cute boys, first jobs, divas being snobs. Telephone, internet, computer, got my lap. Barbecues, pool parties, overnight stays. Little drinking, little kissing, playing these games. Boys trying to bag him, then the next day brag him, but you didn't want to kiss him cause he had that dragon. Laughing till you pee, hoping homies don't see. Cut a little grass for some gas money. Chilling at the malls, getting sticky with the paws. You did it for the rush like a rebel with no cause. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws. And yo, posted at the hoop court 3 straight hours, writing in his skirt with the airbrush flowers. We went to cheer the lads and they appreciated that. And you would almost die when he let you wear his cap. You might have told a lie and abbreviated facts if you came home late and were accused of being baked. Me, I didn't smoke, no, mama, I swear. She's only gonna judge me and you know it ain't fair. Trips to the beauty shop, keeping fresh hair. Blowing $80 at the damn state fair. Beach body surfing with the abs looking perfect. Hitting all the clubs, getting love on the surface. From ice cream cones to the Starbucks stones to your new best friend to your breakup song. They all play out like your favorite days. We love the summertime and it ain't gonna change. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to us, it had no flaws. Rebel with no cause, rebel with no cause. You want attention, said you looking for applause. See, we were kids, the laws didn't have a clause. It was the summertime to had no flaws.
Yeah, Victor Allen working the switcher and just messing with us as you see.
Yeah,
You see.
first of all, let me just say this. We set up this place that no matter where you switch, the default is you're not going to miss anything. Cameras don't hit walls and floors.
Right.
So I just laugh when all of a sudden, because at this point right now, I want to ask, what the hell would you telling Omari, man?
Because Amari be talking while we broadcasting. Amari be like bringing up stuff like, "Hey, you know that girl said she want to get." Oh, excuse me. I was waiting for him to say something
Listen,
off
listen.
color,
Wait a minute.
something wrong. He's gonna
Listen,
say
So
something.
he gives me cues.
I tell him to speak up, because Amari, he got the voice on here. Well,
Some of this shit I don't want people to hear.
baby. I said, we ain't in bed with you, mofo. Can you speak up or something? We not hugging up with
I'm
you.
just telling you, sometimes I say shit that I don't want nobody to hear.
Well, we want to hear all that
fall
shit.
off.
Oh, wait.
We want to hear all that shit.
Okay, I got one for you. Have you been in this studio and parted some shit you didn't want to hear and said, I don't want to be part of that? Or has that even happened to you yet?
Since I've been in
Yeah.
here? Yeah, well, Mario, I got me trapped in a whole bunch of
Oh,
shit.
don't try to blame me. I don't do nothing. Y'all, I don't do nothing to Omari. I don't give him no shit. Because every problem Omari got, I got. So I don't give Omari no
First,
shit.
He
He
exposed
knows. He
everybody
knows.
about the porn. What is it? Porn.
Pornhub.
No,
See?
he put you on blast.
What's your favorite search? Lesbian anal bondage is
Oh,
mine.
Lord.
Oh, Lord.
The
Have you ever searched that?
No. I never,
Let's search lesbian
I
anal
never knew
bondage.
They went there.
Okay, I'm saying off
On
That's
Pornhub.
beyond my scope of imagination.
You might just be watching that. You say, I didn't even know this before. You start liking lesbians different.
Let me do a
I
disclaimer.
like lesbians.
We
My-
like
I like
lesbians.
them different.
My- like 'em
ethos
different.
has not started. This part.
No, this
does
is
not-
still Omari. We haven't got to the ethos.
That's right.
I wanted to set up the ethos because I thought first, before we go to ethos, because, we like to go out on the ethos because no one knows what the fuck it means anyway. So we want to go out on the ethos, but I thought we would give Omari Bakari
Right.
a few minutes to shine, make an ass of himself
Well,
here
I have
on Morning
nothing to shine
Coffee.
about because the shit I want to talk about is
3 minutes.
cannabis. Cannabis.
Right.
Cannabis. That's what I want to talk about.
What about cannabis?
I just think there's an international economy that's developed.
Where you
There's
stopping?
an international
Why you stopping?
Because I didn't know you were going to
I'm
blaze
not-
up. I would have made sure that you had locally grown strand to blaze up in your pipe and some good coffee. And that's what I want to talk about.
When we made the
Cannabis,
coffee,
coffee's great. But there's some things going on around the city. The state of California has voted to reduce taxes on cannabis, which is huge.
Right.
Because if you buy an ounce of weed in the dispensary, you're going to pay $60 in taxes.
which I've been mistakenly doing when I can go to the ghetto and play no tax.
Man,
Wow.
man, and get an equally as good.
Get better weed. So they make it so it's an underground economy. I'm going to give up.
Enforcement.
I'm about to go to the hood.
They force it.
You know, I'm
Matter
about
of
to go
fact,
to the hood.
The underground economy is the only one that met the projections of cannabis sales over the last couple of years. They were talking about how sales were going to grow in the state,
Well,
but the legal industry didn't hit those numbers.
well, we're allowed to grow. It's part of that. We're allowed to grow.
Right.
And so a bunch of people use it to barter.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, with some of the smoke we've been enjoying lately, you especially,
Yeah.
somebody dropped that off to me, that they was part of that grow. Right. They came by and dropped off a bag of weed and a bag of shake, and then we smoked it and thought it was wonderful.
And the stuff I left with you last week came fresh from Yosemite.
Whoa. Not just little squirrels and critters running around in
They
this.
got some grow because up there you can grow 30 plants, but you can't sell it.
Oh, you can give it away.
You can do all kinds. You can
Barter.
Right.
So these guys up there growing, they know how to get 10 pounds off of a plant. They're growing in 500-gallon containers, getting 10 pounds off of one
One plant? That's
Yeah.
the hell. Now, I was just in there doing the math as someone who once grew.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I got like a pound and a half,
If
2 pounds or something max.
If I can get some permission, I can show you these
I give you-
guys getting on ladders, climbing up. They're not trees. These are plants climbing up on the trees, on the plants, clipping the buds.
Well, everybody, I want you to be aware of this man with the hat as he goes through his changes. He's going to be bringing you a bunch of programming. He's got many, many ideas for programming. He's got a long history of successes. And I'm just so proud to have Omari Bakari with us. And look for the trouble that he gets into. Just look, it's got to be some shit, you know.
Trouble that Mario is leading.
Don't
me
try. I
into.
had
Yeah.
nothing to do
Back
with it.
on the dating apps.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's that time, Omari, for when we get into the point of the show where we love it, but we actually know nothing about what the title of it means. It's going to be that time for Victor Allen's Ethos. So are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Vic Vic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Hit that audio. Turn around.
Not working.
You see? Only on my segment. Everything's not working.
No, it doesn't work on yours.
45 minutes of
It doesn't work on his. It doesn't work. Ladies and gentlemen, because we screwed it up, let's do it again.
You do it. Go ahead, man. See, all that support I gave.
See? Blame the computer. See the computer.
That was cool.
No.
Yeah.
What was that?
Get,
Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen's Ethos.
thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm following up Mario cussing out and giving the finger to the medical establishment.
Yes, well, that was certainly a joy.
Okay. See, I'm not sure. And
Counterproductive, probably, but still a joy.
and a success story from Omari Bakari because of the treatment and what he's going through as he thrives to get back to his NFL football playing shape.
I agree. We're bringing back the dashiki in great form
That's right.
Yeah, I don't
and
know
the
about-
NFL playing. That's right. We'll tell about his NFL history.
There you go.
I'm trying to lose weight so I don't get confused for anything with doing with the NFL.
There you go, my brother. You getting there, man. You getting there. Hey, look, okay. I didn't do much this weekend, Mario. You know, I'm just saying, I always kind of say, take the simplest thing and document what you're going through, even if it's boring as hell, right? But as Mario said earlier, man, the basketball weekend was crazy. Then I looked back and I started going, oh my God, can you think of a year, man? And I'm saying it. And I'm gonna let Mario just go down, scroll at his leisure. You don't have to stop or nothing. I made small gifs so he can see what I'm seeing when I sit there and say, look at all the stars that are not part of the playoffs, that are
Wow.
out. Just go, you can scroll at your leisure any speed you want.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a very good point.
It's amazing.
Kevin Durant,
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,
Kyrie Irving.
not in the playoffs.
In a couple of weeks, you'll be able to add about 30 other players.
Yeah, I mean,
And these people, Vic, as I've been noticing, the fact that they didn't make the playoffs is having repercussions
Yes.
everywhere.
yes.
Kyrie, you know, people, you know, you hear talk about whether they're going to move on from Kyrie.
Right.
They're not, the Philadelphia 76ers made clear they're not moving on from Doc Rivers.
Right.
They're going to keep Doc?
They,
they're gonna
they
keep Doc.
came out with a whole publicity campaign.
That's good.
Right.
So that,
Even though I was hoping he would
I know
end
you
up
were.
back here.
I know
Right,
you were,
right.
as I continue to scroll.
Right.
Giannis is out.
Yes. I like
Wow.
that look. But that look.
Giannis
right there,
is out.
That man, got to give it to him.
Look
was
at
great.
Boston, and I hated it. Chris Paul,
Right.
Yeah, Giannis is making
37
me a
years
huge
old.
fan.
Right.
and Harden, who's not the same,
Right.
but still is a top player.
If you went to Vegas and said, I'm going to make a bet that these players, none of them will be past the second round, and made that bet, everybody would have taken it and high odds, and you would have won, but nobody would have predicted that. What I realize is that you need someone to hate or dislike. And then you need to identify which stars you're going to be paying attention to. Though there's 2 names left, maybe 3. It all depends on how you put them. Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, and now Jason Tatum. Those are your 3 superstars. But are they at the level of any of the players or above? And I said, who do you love to hate? First of all, nobody expected Dallas. All right. Second of all, Miami it's Butler. He's a star, but he's not considered a superstar. And no hate on him, but I'm just saying. Then you're going over to Boston, where Jason is now rising. You know, you're just sitting up there thinking of it. And you're going, well, what team do I want to hate? Anybody have a team that's
Dallas.
the enemy?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Clearly the enemy.
Why?
Now, Dallas before Boston?
Yeah,
Dallas?
well, see, I have a respect and an appreciation for Boston just by the way
They're playing.
their management and back office continues to build a consistent
Product.
championship caliber team. So I respect that. But Dallas got some white European shit going on.
You and this Europeans. Is that even so much
It's
that they white?
problematic.
He just hates the fact that Europeans.
Problematic.
You don't even want. Do you want the Africans?
No.
He don't even want the
I
Africans.
just told you what's
You don't want nobody
Oh, man,
from
no.
outside the U.S. I'm already saying.
Not in the
yeah,
NBA.
yeah.
Not in the NBA or Major League Baseball.
No, Lord. What all the Cubans? What happened to all the black Cubans? He didn't
I
just give.
told you
See,
there's an exception, and
See,
that's
there's an exception.
and the Venezuelans.
Wait a minute.
Venezuela. Oh, now you got Venezuelans in there. They don't
Put
even.
brothers down there.
They eat French bread. They don't eat tortillas.
But they some brothers.
Well,
Okay, Venezuelans, I don't know.
All playing,
Venezuelans, Chileans, Argentinians, those are the whitest
No,
of the
no.
Latin Americans. Okay, they European Latin Americans.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying
I'm
they are
just
the
talking about
whitest.
the brothers.
What brothers?
In
Ain't no
Venezuela.
brothers. Ain't
In
no brothers in
Venezuela?
Venezuela.
no,
Yes.
see what he's doing.
Earl
Why
Beatty's
he's doing-
from there.
Okay,
They've got a
alright.
few great players from Venezuela.
Unapologetically African American supporter. Ladies and gentlemen, Omari Bakari.
Rest of them,
You see what he's wearing? You know he's Afrocentric.
Yo, listen. You know what?
I should have wore my medallion.
Right. Okay, let me do this and transitioning. I'm not trying to laugh at it, but I am laughing at it.
Laugh if you want. If you
He
must.
doesn't know what to do about them Cubans, right? I said, what about them Cubans? He said,
I love so
see,
listen,
what?
Listen. Pac Stereo has an arm called Latino what?
Neo-Latino.
Neo-Latino. And
TV.
with over 100,000 subscribers.
That's right.
So I see a way to bring those Cubans in.
Oh, that's the reason?
Yes.
Well, I'm starting
The
the
black-
Lithuanian version. We're going to have the Pac Stereo in Lithuania.
You like Miss
know,
Bai.
I'm going to take you
Miss
over there.
Bai, you can sneak over to Ukrainian and drop
Yeah, we're going to go
$40
somewhere.
million on them.
You know,
We're going to
we-
sneak over to Azerbaijan.
you know what? You guys got to
See,
stop.
see.
See, you know what this reminds
This
me
is the
of?
same shit we were doing at Howard.
See, I
arguing
know.
about ideology.
Yes, yes.
I was arguing with them Nigerians.
Wait a minute.
That's how I was arguing.
Wait a minute. Hey, now I'm gonna ask you a question. I don't know anything about it. Do you think prehistoric dinosaurs kind of stayed within the geography of the landmass they were in, or did they just go where the hell they wanted to?
It depends on their grip and their teeth. But from what I can see, whoever had the biggest jaws back then.
You said that's the only real law. Survival of the fittest.
Right.
That's the only real law. Everything else, something you agree on, right?
Right.
The only one that is nature's law is if I want it and I can take it,
Thank you.
it's mine.
And let's listen to
Okay,
the
that's
law that's
nature's
really
law.
the law.
And that applies to your woman, your
Money.
children, your food, whatever.
Money is the root of opportunity.
Yes.
And so geography are lines for people to say self-contained and make those who are consumers think only identify with your geography. Don't let those other people that's not like you come over to you. That in itself, to me, that shows you how my philosophy, and I'm not into that whole thing I said. So you're training us to sit there and go like this. I don't even know what it's like to identify the California state line over into Arizona. Well, so
Be glad.
And we crossed it a million
Yeah,
times.
be glad. That's not even like that's probably a hot, burning experience. Which if you stay there too long, it's going to be suffering.
right. So
Well, just like this morning, I'm driving up here, and all I see walking down the street are white women. Fine white women.
That's why it took you so long.
Yeah, because I've checked it.
So you was
What y'all
explaining to
doing in
them.
our neighborhood with
Welcome
this
to the
fine
They live
neighborhood.
here.
asses?
They live.
That's right. That
They
white.
live here. They're
When I
residents,
moved
man.
in here, it was all white
Beautiful.
folks.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm like, they're all up in here. So, but if they can buy a house here, what stops them from being here?
Nothing.
The
And
same- the same opportunity.
the neighborhood is diversifying.
Yeah.
And I moved in, it was all white. All the white folks was leaving. I'm so old that the cycle has come around.
Yes.
And now they're coming back. See, y'all left when I was 9, and now you're coming back when I'm 65.
Isn't
Right.
that something?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. I know that we went there, but I just want to let everybody know
So
that.
yeah, Cubans should be in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, hey, listen.
Oh, thank you.
You know what?
They've got
know
the
what?
pass from
You know what?
Amari.
I'm going like this. Okay. This is what we need to get that feedback, and I love it. Now I forgot what my train of thought is, but it is now. What team are you guys cheering for? I know we
Anybody playing Boston.
Oh,
is
why
my
do you like
fa-
Boston?
Anybody who's playing against the Celtics is my favorite team.
Oh my gosh! So you still on the anti-Boston?
Oh yeah, I can't help it. And when I watched, first I was trying to get over it. Then they were showing the audience at the game,
They are- ooh.
and they took me right back.
They were terrible.
The,
weren't
the
they?
racial Boston is the most racist city I've ever been to
No, that's
in my
true.
life.
I think that's true.
It is the most racist city that I have personally ever experienced.
I would agree.
Personally.
Well, okay.
Okay, I
What?
was gonna have to fight white boys on the street because they were gonna walk. Because I had on a suit, they wanted to come by you, walk past you,
Well, they got a
and bump
different-
you and throw elbows and all that kind
Well,
of
Boston
shit
is-
on the street.
Boston and Philly have different kind of white boys. They're not typically intimidated by us.
No, they actually want to fight black people because they're in groups of 3 to
And that's
5.
different from
Right, they don't
white-
want to fight you by themselves, but they will fight you when they got 3 to 5 of their boys, and that's what they do.
Well,
they got
now,
their
let me-
own version
now,
of
let-
gangs.
Let me ask you this: are there black gangs that do the same thing?
All right, let's play like this. Must be, but I never experienced them.
See,
See, this is the whole point. They want to say what the point they try to make, Vic, is that this is what we do. They like to portray black people as violent.
Right.
But you know the one who's really violent?
Right.
Like, look at today.
Right.
Have you heard of any black people
Well,
going in shooting up anything?
well, listen.
Okay.
I
You
can
know who
only go-
does all
I-
that stuff?
I only got the experience.
Mass murderers. You know who does that, right?
Now, let me stay on sports. Now.
Vic,
Let me
I'm
stay
going
on
with
sports.
Golden State.
Let me stay with sports. That's right.
He
Thank
brought
you.
it
I'm not
up.
trying to get
He brought it up. He brought it up.
Wait a minute. I brought up with team.
Boston.
Well, let me say this. You see what
Boston
you see what
Celtics.
happens? My segment gets jacked. see, only because the player. Although that's a nice hat, bro. That's a nice hat. But anyway, so let me just say this. See, you laughing, dude. Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
I make no. It's
Mario
no
said,
secret. I
you
hate
brought it
Boston.
up.
I make no secret of what I think of Boston.
Right. Now let me cheer for this. First of all, because I like what the players are doing. I love people who hustle, and I love that Boston hustles. Because I wish the Lakers. I know I shouldn't say it, but man, that's an example of a team just scrapping. And I like teams that scrap. I'm trying not to like Boston, but I like the way they play, and I like the way Miami plays. Now, I'll pick my favorite team next week. Right now, I want to go on and do transition so you guys can know how.
Wait. Hold up. What do you mean you pick your team next
Next
week?
week.
You got our team out.
Yo,
of
it's an
us.
instigate.
Yeah, but hey.
Called instigation.
Wait a minute. It's my segment.
That's for
I
ooh.
can do what the hell I want with my
My
segment.
man.
Yeah, see, that's. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. You know, I have to say this because we're learning about this certain camera, and I'm gonna have to transition real quick. If I can get an interlude, maybe, because I want to change out the battery because it's acting.
How you gonna
up.
get an interlude in the middle of the segment?
I just wanted about 1 minute.
What you talking
We
about?
can't
Mike?
show this video.
You gonna change my
Well, if
camera?
you want to show.
Okay, well, here comes
oh,
the
no,
interlude.
Mario. You know what? Go show. Let's do the video, and I'll come back to it. So let's set up.
While
the
we're
video.
doing the video,
Yeah, I can do it because we're at the end anyway. So Mario, good point.
because
bro.
we just want to show Omari.
All right, so let me give you what this is.
Instigator.
Simply is this. You know you're wrong. You're wrong.
He's trying to throw Cubans under the bus.
You know what? stop.
See, he don't want to say no. The Jamaicans get to be in it.
Okay.
West Indians,
See, I
Jamaican-
can't-
Haitians.
Cubans,
keep
Jamaicans are pretty
coming.
much like me. They're spectators, great spectators, man.
So they don't get to play.
They don't want to play.
Oh, God.
So they don't get to play.
They can play, but who wants to play smoking
Oh, they
weed?
can play.
I don't want to play while I'm smoking weed. I want to watch.
Okay, Vic, you ready?
Let me tell them what it's about first. So you guys gonna, not that you guys gonna care. Hey, listen, just a day and what I do when I start up, and to try to appreciate some things, because some things were happening over the weekend, and I don't let that change my direction about life, because you never know. One day you can be in the supermarket shopping, planning. The next day you can end up in the wrong place in the wrong time. So I always thought that you should be able to appreciate the sun rising and the sun setting.
That's
So I
real
hope,
talk.
yeah. So I hope you guys can enjoy this video, so that way it can at least transition, because y'all keeping me in a different place. That's all I can say.
Oh, I thought you needed time to do something. Oh, Vic on top of the deck. That's our new deck. Starlink. That's nice. Very good. Get some sand crabs on your toes. Yes, give it
That
up.
was hot, Vic. That was real hot. I think when you do stories like that, it connects with people in different ways. For me, you walking on the beach was huge because I actually had a chance to do that this past weekend. So
Oh, cool.
thank you for sharing that.
Oh, cool, man.
You know, it's wonderful. Victor Allen is the one who's taking the lead on that, showing us, what to do with these kinds of video shorts that he's doing. We're stepping out and doing many, many, many more of them. We got to give it up and give him my buddy.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Ah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I really did that. We got to get in. I need to know what kind of software you guys are using
What kind of software?
to create that. What are you doing? How are you doing that?
What's
the magic?
Well, it's a combination. I mean, it's the iPhone for the basic stuff, when you just see basic stuff. And then there's the secret weapon that I'll tell you off camera. And then there's always an app called Splice. It's just one of a 1,000 that I use. But the secret weapon is a pack stereo secret. It's like Coca-Cola.
Like the
that
secret
shit.
sauce.
The little cut when you're riding on the bike
Yeah.
and you got the camera getting a picture of you riding on the bike
Right.
and both of your hands are on the bike. I'm watching this shit.
Well, that's from the fairies that we have, the fairies and the ogres. We have a whole assortment of mythical creatures that work with us. So he's got the
Don't bring that
fairies,
shit up.
he's got the
You know,
ogres.
Don't bring up fairies. You know what I just learned today as a
What?
grandfather? My daughter just told me.
What?
The fucking tooth fairy is no longer $1 thing. It's $10.
Well,
If you're a
well,
tooth
it's
fairy,
inflation.
you got to come in with $10
That's
under
right.
the pillow.
That's right.
A fairy.
And fairies are an endangered species. First of all, people don't realize that ogres live under bridges and eat fairies. That's what they do. That's what ogres are. They live under bridges. I know have you been under a bridge lately? So that's why you don't know.
I'm gonna have to check.
But ogres live under bridges and eat fairies, and that doesn't mean any kind of sexual thing that you can imagine.
Can I ask a
Just
question?
imagine little Tinkerbell. Little Tinkerbell.
Stay from under the bridges.
Well, since she's a fairy,
This
watch
is a
out.
fairy.
Simple question: are fairies male or female?
Fairies,
They're both. There's
They're
no
right.
gender. It's like Lomo. Looks like Lumo.
it's like cows. I once did a story about this. Cows is not a term that means male or female. Okay? Just something I know Mari's confused. See, cow.
Wrong subject.
Cows.
I
See,
thought-
they got
I thought-
steers, they have
See, I thought the
all
bull-
cows. No. See?
Can we get myself?
So when you get together with that cow, just remember it may
This
be
big.
may be fooling you.
Face it, this is all part of ethos. This is the shit you
We
start
done
every
with
day.
it. Oh, I thought we done.
No, we're not.
Oh, you haven't ended it.
That's
Oh, I
right.
thought you ended ethos.
I thought I ended it too. Did we officially end it? No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
See, this is my-
Victor Allen's
See, this is what
That's how cool ethos is.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Was it over yet?
No. Yeah, it was over.
That's how cool ethos is.
Man, I'm still checking it out. I know how to spell it. I can spell ethos.
You know what?
At first, I thought it was some Greek mythology shit, but this is just some straight up,
It's just Greek shit.
some black shit. This is some ethos.
Well, some of the Greek
Yeah,
shit is
but
black shit.
Back
so
to that fairy.
That's right.
That films you riding the bike.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen to be a drone with it.
No. So
Is it a
everybody.
male fairy?
No.
We
no.
trying to be,
Fairies and
LBD,
genders. You'll get in trouble. if you start-
LGB.
Yeah.
You'll get in trouble.
They have gay fairies.
I,
See, here you go.
We have gay fairies, but we weren't talking about
Let me
that.
stop.
There you
Anyway,
go.
no.
There you go.
The first thing that people were saying.
I knew he was gonna go.
Wait a minute.
How do they dress?
Wait a minute. Let me just. If I had a drone,
I'm going to look it up.
who would be controlling?
If you had a drone,
If the drone was the unit I'm using,
Because the state of the art drones are programmable to
Right.
follow you.
but I don't even know where the hell I'm going. But I know what you're talking about, the facial recognition. But
I'm still looking up fairies.
see, oh my God, let me stop. No,
So fairies have drone licenses.
you know what? It's
See, most of these fairies,
Do they have drone licenses to fly
they
drones?
show them as women. Because you might want to get some fairy company.
okay.
See, I look at fairies and I say that might be a magical
I'm
little
just not
person.
sold on the whole thing that a fairy is the job skill that Vic uses to accomplish that shot.
Well,
Fucking fairy would
what
be
else
hit.
did you think it would be if it wasn't a fairy?
There's all kind of things.
Not
It
an
would take a
ogre.
fairy. A
Shrek.
big dragonfly would come along seeing the fairy videotaping some shit, and it's over.
I'm seeing some fairies that I might want to get out with.
my God.
Look at this one right here.
I don't even want to show it.
This one is a fine ass little fairy.
Oh no, I am not showing.
She got a little rat.
Okay, no.
I'm just saying.
no.
Look about
You
this
know what?
fairy. Look at this fairy right here. Would y'all? How about this one?
Mario, you're gonna be labeled a dirty old
Okay,
man.
I'm saying. What do you
Okay.
mean? All I gotta do is move to Japan.
Dirty old
They
man.
like the little schoolgirl.
Now you go to offend the
Anime.
people in Japan. You can't do that.
They do the schoolgirl thing in Japan.
Oh my God, can we end my segment?
How about that? Look at these legs. Now, when they make the fairy look like that, what are they suggesting?
I'm not showing that. You
What
know why?
What is the fairy with 9 tails?
And these fairies don't look like they black. I want to make this.
No.
These fairies look European.
No, you know what?
I want to know what's happening
That's
with the
why I
fairies.
can't go with the whole fairy thing.
Well, now, here you go again.
you
out
can't
of it.
have a little European.
I'm gonna say black
You
fairies.
can't have a little European fairy flying
Why
around
not?
Crenshaw.
I can. It's all of
Crenshaw bullshit.
fairy gentrification.
These are not adult references, y'all.
Here's
Here's
Amabella.
Yeah.
Amabella is a African American fairy. See,
She's $5.
see, she got the little nappy hair.
She's $5.10. The little white fairy was only $2.
What are you trying to say?
Oh Lord. I just,
Here I am trying to find you some black fairies. This one look like Queen Latifah.
yeah, we don't understand.
That one like Queen Latifah, huh?
Hey,
Here's another one. That look like one of the ones Vic would date. Vic like them tall fairies.
so I want you guys to understand.
I
what
like
he-
the little
what
short
he's
fairies.
saying. We're having a
I like the
subject.
nappy-headed fairies. Like
Here's
that
a
one,
nappy-headed
that one
fairy.
Yes,
Like that.
that's my favorite.
That's a nappy.
I'm just leaving.
They
this
got
alone.
nappy head fairies because they had nappy fairy parents.
We're running overtime right now.
Once you look at this fairy.
It's 11:09.
Okay, this is what. Okay, we
This
done
is
with
what
ethos.
happens. This is
Are
what
we done
happens.
with ethos yet?
Yeah, I don't want this in my ethos segment.
It's too late. You never ended
No.
it.
Wow.
No, I don't want this in there. Shoot.
Here's the astrological sign of fairies.
Goodness.
Like that astrological
No one
poster.
sees the fairies but you and I.
I'm not showing no more fairies, man.
Here's a
See-
umfufu fairy.
See, next
That's a
time.
umfufu fairy.
Next time, I want him to lead his serious subject with this subject.
What? Fufu fairies?
Yes.
I would. I would lead it if I could just meet one.
Okay.
Look at her. She got a little frog in her hand and shit.
Okay.
I like
I'm out.
this fairy.
No more fairies. Let's get out of here.
Did I tell you guys the taxes are going to be reduced on cannabis?
Yes.
Well, we back to that again. God damn, we back to.
Just to make sure.
Have you been
I-
smoking this morning?
Yes.
That's right,
I wanna
we
make sure
back
our
to the.
listeners get
Thank
that.
you, Omari, for the cannabis update.
This is
Shit.
not right.
Maybe we ought to go, Vic. You ready?
I've been trying to get out of this.
Okay, bye,
All right,
everybody.
thank you.
Bye.
Oh, God.
Don't hang out with old mofo.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Let's get down on the good news train. Have your morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Get the 311 before the morning's done. Laugh until you cry. You can always rely on morning coffee with Mario every Monday. Morning coffee with Mario.
That's right. Thank you for tuning in. Been a blast. Alexa, begin broadcast transition playlist.
Your playlist, Broadcast Transition, on Amazon Music.
See ya. See ya.